is my 37-week update. I'm actually only 36 weeks and 5 days today, and I'll be 37 weeks on Saturday, but it's close enough. I did have uh, an appointment with my midwife today. I had one last week too, and I know I was going to do videos once a week in accordance with my appointments, but I was just so out of it actually for the last week or so, so we'll just get back on track. Today, my normal midwife was back. She had been out of town because her son was getting married, but she asked me today if I was going to schedule a C-section since both of the babies are breech, and she asked me, she didn't tell me that I needed to, which I appreciated, and that's because of how I've established the reputation or the relationship that I've established with them, that they're not going to tell me what to do, that we can talk and collaborate on what's going to be the best course of action for me. But anyway, I told her how I talked to the head doctor, and he said that it would be perfectly fine for me to wait until my body went into labor, which is what I plan on doing. I did say though that if they would promise and commit to me to having a family gentle C-section, family-centered C-section, then I would consider scheduling a C-section. And that means them putting the EKG leads on my back and my shoulders instead of on my chest, so that the babies can be laid on my chest from my womb to my chest and never taken away from me. That my husband gets to stay with me at all times. He doesn't have to wait outside while they're prepping me for surgery or anything like that. Never separated from my support person. And that they're his babies too. I hate the way that they treat the fathers like they're not part of this process. But anyway, delivering the baby slowly out of the womb, and it only adds about a minute or two to the total delivery time, but just letting the uterus squeeze the fluid out of the baby, and little things like that shouldn't be such a big deal. But she said that they couldn't promise that because it's up to the anesthesiologist, so I said that I wouldn't come in for a C-section then. And what I'm really planning on doing is laboring at home for as long as possible, and well into active labor, and showing up at the hospital at the point of delivery or after. I'm not afraid to deliver these babies at home at all. Anyway, with that said, when I called my husband and I told him about saying that I would agree to a C-section if it was family-centered, he was like, I don't even know why you said that much, because I know that that's not what you want. And I really, it's not what I want. I really was just testing the waters to see if they would be willing to do that, and they're just so not willing to change how they do things. So that's what it is. I looked up the risks to myself and to my babies from C-section versus the risk to myself and to the babies from vaginal breech delivery, and they're so much lower with just delivering the babies vaginally, even though they're breech, so much lower that way. So that's what I'm choosing to do. There's risk either way, with the C-section or with the breech, and the risk for the C-section were higher, and ones that I wouldn't be okay with more with the C-section than with the breech delivery. So anyway, that's that. I have been going to NSTs, not really twice weekly. They want me to come twice weekly, but I've been going once a week, and it's been fine. I actually like going because they do an ultrasound each time to measure the pockets of fluid around the babies. And so I get to see their position and kind of see what I'm working with. I've been doing everything to get the babies to turn. I've been doing breech tilts, which are laying in an inverted position, like on an ironing board. If you put the ironing board on the couch like that and put your head at the bottom. I've been doing inversions, where I put my knees on the couch and then lean down to the floor on my forearms so that my body's like this again, and hold that for 30 seconds. I do headstands against the wall, headstands in the pool. I've been putting peppermint oil across the top of my uterus where their heads are, and then putting an ice pack on top of it to try to make it cold so that they would move away. Play music down at the bottom of my uterus, have my husband talk down there, my kids talk down at the bottom so that the babies will move down there. The most recent thing that I've been doing are, it's called moxibustion, and it's similar to, it's a kind of acupuncture. So this is a moxa stick, and this is a smokeless moxa stick. So they have regular moxa sticks which is just rolled like a cigar in paper, and it produces a lot of smoke. This kind, the mugwort, which is what the moxa stick is made out of, is ground and made into charcoal. So it produces a lot less smoke, but it still makes a lot of smoke. So I sit outside and do it. But you light it on fire, and it just smolders like charcoal. And you have it sitting pointed to the nail bed of your little pinky toe for about 15 minutes, and then do it to the other toe. And that's an acupressure point that's supposed to stimulate heat and movement, so that your babies will get up and move, get up out of the pelvis and move around and possibly flip. So I've been reading about it. It seems to have a pretty high success rate, but usually between 34 and 35 weeks, and obviously I'm 36, almost 37, so we'll see. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Only 3 to 4% of babies in the breech presentation stay that way to labor, and it looks like mine are kind of trying to defy the odds and be in that 3 to 4%, but we'll see. A lady on Facebook in a group that I'm in, Birthing Multiples Naturally, just told me that her baby A flipped to 30 at 36 weeks and 5 days, which is tomorrow for me, and that her baby B flipped vertex once baby A was born. So I'm still holding out hope. I didn't do a video last week because I had just been so bummed and letting it get me so down that the babies are both head up and stubbornly refusing to flip in either kind of way. So I can't afford a chiropractor to do the Webster technique, but everything else besides that, all of the things on spinningbabies.com that are to help you switch or flip a breech baby, I've been doing. So hopefully something works and the babies will turn head down, and even in that case I am going to stay at home, especially then, and labor as long as I can. I would give birth at home with a midwife, but as you know, the laws that passed that required mothers of multiples have to deliver in hospitals, and it's just ridiculous. So there isn't much more. I have an ultrasound on Monday with the perinatologist, and the perinatologist is the one that said to me last time that she wasn't going to let me go past 38 weeks, which is a complete opposite and different interaction exchange that I had with my midwife today, who asked me if I wanted to schedule a C-section or not. So I'm already planning on going in there confrontational, because if she comes at me like that again, then I'm gonna have some things to say about her, like, oh, you know, I didn't realize that was your choice, or how are you going to get me to come in here if you're not going to let me do something? And it's my body. Why do you feel like that's your choice? But I just feel like sometimes the doctors, sometimes the staff, the medical staff, forget that they do this day in and day out, and they see it day in and day out, but that each one of us are individuals, and that this birth matters to me, something that I will never forget for the rest of my life, just like the next woman's birth matters to her. But they're seeing 10, 20, 15 women a day. It's all the same to them. And if we can get the medical staff to start looking at us all as individuals, then I think great things could happen, where it would matter how we felt, where it's not just a healthy baby that's the ultimate outcome, because that's not just the end goal. The mom needs to be healthy too. The dad needs to be healthy too. Everybody needs to be okay with what happened during the birth. So that's my stance, and I'm really excited because Improving Birth is having a national rally for change regarding medical care practices, and I'm probably not going to be able to be there because it's on Labor Day, September 1st, but we'll see. I'm going to do everything I can. If I can give birth to these babies vaginally, I'm pretty sure I can be there. But anyway, that's it for now. There's not really much more to tell. I'm kind of getting excited to see these boys, although I'm set with being pregnant right now because there's still breech, And if one of them flips, I know that I'll feel so ready. I know my initial goal is to get out of August, but if one of them flips, then I'll be ready to go ahead and go into labor so that I can give birth confidently to head down babies. But and you know what, I have confidence delivering them breech too. I'm really not afraid, obviously, if I'm going to stay at home and not schedule a C-section and all that. I'm not afraid. So right now I'm getting ready to go do my moxibustion for my toes, and then I'm going to go take a nap. I get to take a nap every afternoon, and I still go to bed early each night and sleep through the night around my pee breaks, of course. But I'm getting lots of sleep these days, but I'm always tired, and that's to be expected. So my next appointment is next Thursday, so I'll do another video next Thursday and let you guys know, keep you guys updated, and pretty soon the babies will be here. I'll talk to you all later. Thank you for following my journey. Bye.